All right. Monday night Novak news. It's Bidan and my colleague Harry.
Harry, yes.
Yes. So we're talking about how to stand out in a rental application. I know it's pretty tough out there. Eh?
It is very tough.
It is very
yes.
busy. So stay tuned and let's find out how to get your application approved. All right, here we are. How are you doing, Harry?
I'm well.
Go.
First time. Excited for it.
Excited. No, this is always fun.
That's it.
How's the Monday been? Busy for you?
Busy. Always full out on a Monday. But you get through it.
Definitely.
It's good.
So yeah, Harry works in the rental team, going through lots of applications, going through
say that again.
lots of tenants, right? So yeah, so he's been in the floor, experiencing everything, and he's seen through some good applications and some bad applications. And I've been on the other side too, looking for properties like everyone's out there. Like you apply for a lot of properties and it's a hassle to apply for those properties, going through all the references, pay slips and lots of documentation. And at the end of the day, it's very sad to see that, unfortunately, your application didn't go through, right? So, and at the end of the day, like, it's just you are the messenger.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for a property, I always blame the agent.
It's difficult because as an agent, you're always acting as the third party, really, between the prospective tenant and the landlord, and as you said, getting the reference checks. I would say the three biggest things that would increase your chances with applications is number one, your previous rental history. So providing the contact details of your previous property manager, so we can give them a call and say, hey, look, we just want to ask you a few questions of how you were during your tenancy. So rental history is a really big one that the landlords love. I would go with financials, whether or not you can afford the property itself.
Of course,
is another really big one. And the third one, employment. Obviously, landlords love to hear that security, whether or not you're employed, or if you've got any source of income coming in, really. Doesn't matter if that's passive or if that's just your normal wage from your job. But those are the three biggest factors.
Definitely.
Excuse me. I would include in your application. Yeah.
So with that income bit, Harry, like, is there like a percentage of something that you guys measure? Like, if I earn less $1,000 a week, like, does it have to be like certain percentage of that towards the rent?
It's generally, so there's a general percentage that we work around with. We look at someone's income. We take 30% of someone's income, and we use that as a factor on whether or not that they can actually afford their property. So if, let's say their income is $1,000 a week, and the rent is $250 a week, that because 30% of that,
makes sense.
they'd be able to afford it.
Definitely, I think with also the market, like, I think everyone knows it's been going for a few years now. There's not a lot of stock out there. And you probably can see a lot of numbers 100%. In your open home as well. And it gets very tricky. And there's one property, there might be 10 different people walking through.
And it's interesting because I've been working in PM for about 6.5, pushing 7 months now, and it's crazy because when I first started working alongside with Thomas, we were just full out, just leasing properties back to back, and now I think we're really going through a stabilization period, really. But I think in the next few weeks we're going to start having a lot more stock, purely because we're getting a lot of rent reviews, and normally when we get rent reviews, we get a lot of stock coming on the market, because that's when landlords make the decision on whether or not they'd like to increase the rent. Normally when we have a lot of rent increases, there's a lot of properties that get vacated. So that's when we start seeing a bit more stock coming on the market.
I did see the article as well. I think it was published 2 days ago. Now, the rental market, it's done its peak. Now it's on a plateau stage.
It's plateaued, yes.
It's plateaued, so people might not be getting the same amount of rent that they're getting. Like, you might be like, oh, who is going to pay that much amount of rent for that property? So that article was there saying now it's finally something's looking good. It's been going on since COVID, which is 2020, which is 4 years ago. Seems like yesterday, but it's been going on for a while that the rental market has been very tough. But now we can see it's plateaued a little. It has done, all the growth it has done. And even now, but, people are still looking.
They are.
Like,
There's still a lot of prospective tenants. Right? One in particular, 29 Plateau Road. We have an inspection for that one, an open inspection on Wednesday at 11:40 to 12 for those of you that are watching that might be interested. We've already got about 4 applications, 4 or 5 actually already, for a beautiful home that hasn't even had its first open inspection. So you can really already start to see the numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there are 4 applications. So like as a tenant, of course, if I'm applying for a property, I've gone through all the hard work of applying for it, I would love to be in that space.
Yes. 100%.
So out of those 4, how do I stand out? So as Harry mentioned, the 3
factors: employment references, financials, and rental history.
I think rental history goes a long time.
It does.
It basically shows how you've been as a tenant.
Yeah.
And looking at the history, oh, cool, they paid rent on time, they maintain the property very well.
No arrears is also a really big thing. If you're a really good rent payer, you pay your rent on time. That's one of those top factors that landlords.
Why do do all this background checks, Harry?
It really just gives you a better understanding of how the person is as a tenant and how the person is, as a person. You know what I mean? It's just to see whether or not they're a good fit for the property, if they can afford it, if they're just an overall good tenant. Really, yeah.
That's great. I also heard the other day, like if you, dress well, present well at the open home, the agent remembers you.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Is that true?
100%.
That's great.
Yeah. First impressions are everything, really.
There we go. Yeah.
If you're well presented, you're well mannered. A lot of people that come to our opens, they kind of, they're a bit uneasy. They're a bit scratchy. They're a bit kind of, not too sure, but. The people that are calm and that are very, they're very open, polite and everything, you generally last longer in the memory. So, and then you come back to the office, you do your callbacks, you go, Mr. and Mrs. XYZ. I remember them. They're very lovely people.
There you go.
Personality-wise is also a big thing, I would say, just so, you can get a better understanding of them as a person.
Definitely. The screening process is different. So at the end of the day, it's the landlords, the owners who decide who they want to go ahead with, who they feel comfortable with, I believe.
And as the PM, you kind of, I would say you help them make that decision. You consolidate with them who you believe would be the best application, the best fit for their property, which I believe it's a huge responsibility because you're deciding the people that are going to be living in the property for the next 12 months or however long the duration of the lease agreement is, really. So
So basically, I think everything has to be up to date when you're applying for a property. Get your references in order, let your employment history to be accurate. Call your manager and boss saying, hey, I'm applying for this property. Do the reference checks because that goes a long way.
Yeah.
If the reference checks has been done, because as a property manager, Harry will call your employee and all your property managers saying, how has they been?
Yeah.
Mr. John, how is he doing? Is he paying rent on time? Is he actually making that amount that he's stated?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, the amount of time where I have a lot of tenants that might be lying a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to push them over the line with how much they're earning.
Yeah.
And then you go through your application, you go to pay slips, bank statements, and sometimes it just doesn't always add up, which I get a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But definitely don't lie.
Yeah.
That's another really big thing I'd keep in mind. Always be honest. Be truthful on your application.
Definitely. So what does a good application look like, Harry?
A good application. Good application is something that includes those 3 points that I've mentioned. And honestly, what I just said, truthful and honesty for me is a big thing. Because if you're truthful and honest on your application, it gives me a good understanding of how you are as a tenant. And I know that I'm not going to have any issues or too many issues with you during the tenancy. So
So kind of when you're applying for properties, always sometimes it helps, I guess, to put a little description about yourself as well.
100%.
Right.
I love a good description.
Like
how they are, what they do, the hobbies.
Exactly.
Go to the gym, morning walks with the dog. I love it.
You never know, like, because I think we send it to the owners.
Yes, we
and
do.
when the owners say, this guy has the same hobby as me, you might have a better preference. You never know.
That's it.
Because you got to outdo the competition.
That's it.
You get 4 applicants for one property, and if all 4 will offer the same rent, they have the same income, like, even for the owners, like, they got to choose someone.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. So
100%.
do the best you can, like, go that extra mile, and you will be able to secure that property.
Couldn't agree more with you.
Right. So, like, I've been on the other end too. So I've been through a few ups and downs, and being in the industry myself, even I might be like, slacking a little.
Yeah.
I'm more into sales in that period. Like, everything is on point. But rentals, it is a bit tricky because as a property manager, Harry is responsible for putting the right person in a property that the owners have trusted Harry with.
Yeah.
And it could be $1 million property, and something could go wrong anytime. Like, I've seen lots of cases, heard lots of stories that the whole place has burned down.
Yeah.
The place has flooded.
Very, very unlikely, by the way. Very, very,
very unlikely. But, not possible. It has happened.
Yeah.
I've seen some disturbing photos, I might say. So things do go down, and having the right agency and the right property manager goes a long way.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a very good screening process there, just to protect the tenants and the owners both. So, when applying for rental properties, just be who you are, get all the documents there, get your ducks in a row basically, and having all the payslip on order, your IDs, get your references, like put your friends, put your uncles, like who will say a good word about you, right?
Yeah. Just to touch base on that.
Yeah.
If you're working, I wouldn't necessarily go towards family straight away.
Mm-hmm.
I would only include family as the last backup, really. But genuinely, you'd go for someone that's unbiased, like an employer, obviously. Mm-hmm. But if you're unemployed and you don't really have anyone to fall back on, definitely go for a family member. But I wouldn't always recommend it as a first priority. Just to add to that one, yeah.
Cool. And we're always here to help. Like, I know market is a bit tough. You can always give us a call and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Please give us a call.
Yeah.
If something similar comes in. Or if you need even help with the application, like we have both physical and digital version. Like I think Harry is very well across it, but we're always here to help. I know the market stuff, and I think Harry knows it as well.
Yeah.
And there are a few properties out there, like that go instantly. I think normally what's the average days on market for rental properties? One open.
Yeah, sometimes one open. There's some properties that might take a very long time to lease. Others will just go within after the first open, we'll get it done with 2, 3, 4 days easy, no problems. So it really does vary, like obviously the condition of the property, the location. You got a lot of stuff to factor in. It does vary. Yeah.
I think we got pretty much everything covered.
Yeah.
Overall that is what it is. And just have a look out there. Like, if you're looking for rental property, inquire on properties from every real estate agency.
Yeah.
So they will add into your database. So you don't have to keep looking. You'll get an email from them.
Yeah.
I think that has been the biggest thing from my end when I was looking for a property. I inquired on multiple properties from different agencies, and I also get email, okay, this might be suitable for you.
Yeah.
So there are lots of things to do, and we can also always help you to see what you can look for rental property. Go for the north-facing one, of course. When you're in the property, when you're in the property, check for how the property's been taken care of. And the most important thing I think people miss, Harry, is they don't check how the network is on their phone when in a property.
Yeah, the network.
Yeah, that's always a very tricky thing, because once you sign the lease, and because it happened to me, I signed the lease, there was nothing out there. Then when I'm in the property, and every time I call, I used to break out. So I had to switch 3 different providers, then finally ended up with Telstra.
A lot of people, and this actually just happened. I actually moved places last week. They actually take the NBN box with them, which is a very, very frustrating as a property manager, just because the NBN box doesn't actually belong to the tenant. Yeah. It actually belongs to NBN, and it can only work with that property. So it is a bit of a hassle chasing up old tenants with the new tenants, and just
Trying
going
to
back and
landing
forth
of it,
and trying to get that NBN box back, because it is a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating. So for everyone watching, keep the M box in the property.
All right, that is from us. Signing out, Bidan and
Beautiful, Harry.
And Harry, have a good night, and we'll
Thank you,
see you
guys.
next Monday.
See ya.
Cheers. Good
Bye.
night.